Welcome to the Make It Make Sense podcast, where we make sense of the senseless and learn how things actually work. I'm your host, Davette Baker.
And I'm Travis Lee.
So take a seat and buckle up. It's going to be an awesome ride.
Welcome to episode 00.
Double.
Of our podcast. The purpose of this shorter version of the podcast that we're going to be doing right now is for kind of us, the hosts, Davette and
Hi.
Travis, to get acquainted with you, the listener. So
Travis knows way more about this stuff. This is why he is
No.
producer.
No.
And I am just the talent.
Yeah, you're the talent. But for us to introduce ourselves to our listeners, I do 2 other podcasts, but they're not kind of in this genre at all. So, why should people listen to us? Why should people care about our personalities, our points of view, and what we have to share? And so, Davette, you approached me with the idea for this podcast, and we've kind of always been talking about us doing something together.
Yeah.
But you finally had some spark of inspiration, and you messaged me, and you said, "Let's do this right now."
Yeah.
What made you contact me?
So I have always really had a love for paying attention to what is going on in our country, being queer, black, a woman, and a human.
4 strikes against you.
Yeah, just, being just all the strikes. And just, I'm at the plate. Ooh, baseball reference.
We're not sports ballers, but I think 4 strikes and you're out.
Yeah, it's like 4, 3, or 10 or something like that. I don't know. But I was sitting in the dugout and just watching things go by, and I couldn't do it anymore. I've always been a helper in helping, helping jobs, trying to make sure everybody's okay, and everybody is not okay. We're not all right. No one is all right. And if you think you're all right, you drank the Kool-Aid, as they say. So
for whatever side you're on, whatever side of politics you're on, whatever side of any issue that you're on,
you're not okay.
We're not okay.
No, we're not all right.
So we'd like to talk this stuff out, right?
Yes.
And we have 2 very different views about how we want to go about doing this. So I'm more of a fiery action type person, and I'm really mad, and I want to take action now because I have this urgency in my life created by my experiences or whatever I've gone through. But I liked, and the fact that I just like to grab a problem, and it helps me to deal with my anxiety.
Travis would like to burn things down, and that's fine. Travis,
I need to take action on things.
Yes,
because I have crushing anxiety and self-confidence issues, and it helps me when I'm working on something.
Yes.
And not just like wondering about things or overdoing things in your brain and everything. I want to grab something even before I know what to do and at least start taking action on something. But you're more of the person
that wants to think it out, educate myself, because my crushing anxiety needs to understand something before I take action.
Yeah.
That's the organizer in me.
Right.
In 2016, I got from behind a desk. I went and I learned how to organize within the governmental system, which then led me to actually doing organizing with my body and getting into the political realm and understanding that system. And time again, trying to educate people and help people understand how we fight the powers that be and them continually to make the wrong choice. And it's because folks do not understand the powers that be. So I wanted to have a space where people could come and they could learn and understand all the things that we don't understand. And so it's my hope that you'll come and hang out with us for a little while, and we'll talk about hard things. And hopefully, between the two of us, we'll make them a little bit easier to understand. Hopefully, we'll have a space at some point where you can ask us questions. But with that day looming, January 6th is coming, and we had our big election. We got to start talking this stuff out, and I hope to provide a small space for those discussions to happen and everyone from anywhere to be able to come and listen. And this is something that is very dear to my heart, and I am not here to try to make anyone think one way, because a lot of this is just has been over explained and beat to death, and we just need to take it back to the basics. And so just, come along for the ride.
It's kind of, for me, we had two very different ideas, like I said, when we first started this, but then you approached me with this idea of, you know what, let's just take things down a notch, Travis. I'm all like, oh yeah, hey Davette, you want to do a podcast? Yeah, let's get it. Let's call out these fools and let's call out these fools. And
he did want to call it "These Fools Are Dumb," and we just wanted to rage, scream, and play Metallica.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, Travis, we can't yell at
and I'm like,
people
okay,
anymore.
And because I am into fine. Let me step back because I know I have to deny myself my worst instincts, but So let's take a step back. Let's learn some things. I'm along with you for the ride. I want to learn some things with you. And what are the type of subjects that you want to get into for the beginning of the show? I know it could go anywhere, but the idea is that, we're going to be having discussions between us, maybe in the beginning and the end of the episodes. But the idea right now is for the main meat of the episode to be an intimate interview that you have with someone who you think might be knowledgeable on whatever subject that you pick for that week. So what are some of the subjects you have in mind?
So there definitely will be like civic related discussions, so we can actually understand how civics work in our local and our state and federal systems. I think there's a much needed discussion because people don't know where they should go as it relates to those. And I can give a quick example. I met a young man during our election cycle who I hope to have on. He has agreed to come and talk to us about his child support. And that was a big voting issue for him federally, which is not a federal issue. And I think a lot of people think that. The other thing is, I have a segment I want to do called "What That Do." So what did that do? And that's just like we're gonna pick a person in the government, and we'll literally talk about what they do and how they can help you. Because I don't think people know that. And then one of my favorites is two things can simultaneously be true. And I think we don't think in those terms anymore. It's either all or nothing, and we can't do that anymore. We have too many people's lives at stake.
The internet allows for that.
Yes.
It allows for you to be bombastic without having to really take any repercussions whatsoever.
Yep.
And having these face-to-face discussions that you'll be having with our guests, and the face-to-face discussions that we have, and the face-to-face discussions that hopefully eventually we have with our listeners.
Yes.
We're trying to come to a better understanding. It's harder to demonize somebody and argue with somebody so vehemently when you're standing there face to face with another human being who has to go home and feed their kids as well, and you don't want to wish death upon them because they are a real person
Right.
standing right in front of you,
Yeah, it's
and you don't want to
hard
say
to-
horrible things that you would normally not just say
Yeah.
on the internet and throw it away and go about your day.
It's
you know?
really hard to be mean to someone when
As
they're
mean, yeah.
yeah, and as mean as you might be
On the
when
internet.
you're a keyboard warrior, as I
Yeah.
call them.
Yeah.
We are all the same.
Yeah.
We all come from the same place. If you really want to get technical about it, we all come from the same woman.
Right. So
Either-
education on all of these subjects.
Yeah, either way you want to go. If you want to go religion,
And there's different
or-
choices you can make at the end of that education. But as long as we all learn together
Yeah.
what the real issue is, then we can all make informed decisions.
Right.
And if we want to disagree with each other, I think we'll be a little closer than we were previously if we all just understand the damn issue from the start.
Right. The people that you want to save you are not going to save you.
No, you gotta save your own.
You
ass.
got to save your own, yeah, your own ass, with the help of the people around you.
Right.
I tell people in my story of self, it was the community and family that I built within where I lived that saved me during the pandemic. It was not the government. It was not any entity. It wasn't Donald Trump. It wasn't any of those people. It was the people. It was the community that I built within my family structure where I lived that helped me raise a lot of money to be able to support myself because I was so sick. And I did that because I understood the things that I want to help everybody else understand. One other thing, there are specific, I want to teach people strategies, and I think a good thing that's going to help us is that Travis has his own little special. His own little special segment.
Oh, yes. I still need to be convinced of this, but the idea for the segment is, what is your name for the
Travis wants a damn revolution, and I just want to teach shit. And he came to me, like when he came in and we were talking about this originally, he's just like, burn it down. And here's the thing, low key, I am sitting on the rooftop with those ladies and their coffee and their cigarettes and everything and watching it burn. I am, I told Travis, on the day after the election, I was a bubbling mess and wanted to I quit for about an hour, but then I was like, I can't quit, but I can do something while I'm watching it burn. So Travis is he's going to come up with something that he thinks that he can just get to work and fix on. And we're going to let him rant and rave about it for a little bit. And then I'm going to talk about, this is how you can start that. Yeah. Don't just jump right in. And I think
any opportunity for me to rant in front of a microphone, I'm pretty happy about.
Right. So, we got to here's the thing, Travis is one of the brightest minds that I know that can cover everything else that I am not. And that's the other thing. We always need all the information from all the sides. You can't you can't have things not at the table. And my hope is to bring in people whose voices aren't here. And so we can have those discussions, because I'm not an expert on everything.
No, we're not coming at that. We're not coming at this whole podcast from an idea that we are teaching, I mean, even if we are teaching something along the way, we're learning along and teaching along with everyone else. Yeah. And make your own decision after that. It's up to you. But part of our whole frustration, my whole frustration in the world, is the lack of education in everything, and even my own. I don't understand how this works. It makes me angry, and that's what makes a lot of people angry, is when they don't understand something. You understand it a little bit better, and it's gonna make you feel a little more confident about whatever decision that you make on any subject, right?
And maybe we'll give away prizes.
We could definitely give away prizes.
I want y'all to.
Yeah.
We're pretty funny people.
We're pretty funny.
The 000 episode is not fun, but we just want you to
know.
know.
We're having a little fun.
We're having a little bit of fun.
So let's talk a little for a second about just a little bit more about who we are and how we met. So we've known each other
since 1992. Or or two or something like
92.
That.
We started high school in 92.
Yeah.
We went to high school together at Milwaukee High School of the Arts, and we were in the same orchestra.
Yeah.
And I was playing double bass.
And I played the violin.
Yeah.
And I made him be my friend.
Yeah, you did.
He didn't want to be my friend, but I made him be my friend.
Yeah.
And we have another friend named Adam.
Yeah.
And Adam and Travis are my Beavis and Butthead.
Yes. And Adam and I do Radio Free Galaxy podcast together. See, I've got these friends from high school for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And I'm still hanging out with them doing podcasts now.
Yeah.
In the 2024s, 2025s. And I think that's a little bit of testament of me. I don't know, when you keep friends that damn long and you're still hanging out with them, wanting to do new projects together. We started out in a high school orchestra together,
and now we're doing.
And here, 30-some years later, we're still working
podcast.
On something. But we've continued to be friends. I've had my troubles along the way. So you went one way in life, and you went to your life of activism and helping people and college. And I went to college for a little while, and then I had a little decade-long run-in with heroin.
A run-in?
Yeah, a little decade-long run-in with heroin, which ended up leading to a short but sweet prison term. And but the good news is that I'm free talking about all this stuff now, because I've been clean off heroin now, when you hear this, for 13 years. And I got over it. And what you were saying earlier about we're the only ones that can help ourselves, that's definitely true. Nothing else was going to save me but myself. I had to learn to love myself and want to live again. I wanted to die for like a decade for many, many reasons. But I had to learn to want to live again and start so I could be there for my friends and my family, and keep these relationships up, like with you, that I valued for so long. But anyway, I'm sharing about that. But, I do a couple other podcasts now. So I'm kind of a podcaster. I work for myself for real money on the side. And so that's a little bit about me and a little bit about us. And
so while Travis was having his tiny stint with heroin.
Tiny decade-long
stint with heroin.
Yes.
I went to college. I got a master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a master's in mental health, focus in psychology. So I worked in the mental health field. I actually went back to school. I have a almost degree in television writing and producing from Columbia. I'm sad I didn't finish it, but I did retain all of the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So then I came back and I just started working in social work field. I ended up working at a Medicaid HMO. Learned a lot about about how we don't care for people. Then I switched to being an advocate for peoples with disabilities. And then that was when the fire got under me, and I switched to doing activist work. And that's where I hooked back up with Travis. He worked on a decarceration project with me, which
we tried.
Yeah, we tried. We tried, but when evil white people get money, you have to get it taken away from them. Yeah. So, I left
We
that
tried.
behind. Yeah, we did try.
We tried, but it got us together again. You know, after my incarceration, after I was clean for a few years, and I could think clearly again, and I wanted to give back to
He
the
was
community.
one of my star
Yeah,
organizers.
we got to hook up, and then it got us doing something together.
We
and
gave the women's commissary at the Milwaukee County Jail
a whole bunch of money.
a whole bunch of money so they could get, things like pads and sanitary items.
Yeah.
And the sheriff tried to take credit of it.
I know.
Yeah, if you look it up, it's on the there is a CBS 58 article that they actually interviewed me. But all the other articles the sheriff and the county exec.
That's all right.
That's okay, though.
We know what's up.
We know what's up, yeah. And then, he tried to be in the pictures, and I wouldn't let him be in the pictures. I was like, nope, you didn't do this, just Aaron. But so, and then I went on to work for Human Rights Campaign to help reelect Tammy Baldwin, and then I got hired by the Machine, which is the DNC. And then we had COVID, and I got COVID. And so I've been trying to climb.
And
COVID, and it just wrecked my body. And I've had a lot of time to read, to listen, and to read. And so I am not, I want people to understand that, I'm doing this from my heart and from a lot of knowledge. And anything that I come with and explain, I have researched and gone over 11 times, as they say in the song. And I just want to share what I know, and some of it might sound insane.
But just listen.
I'm not saying that I'm an expert. I might say Noe McNoe. But not on by any means. I just wanted, I told Travis, just hear me out.
Oh.
That's it. Just hear me out.
So I'll be the first. Ear that comes to your voice, and I encourage everyone to do exactly the same thing. So I'll ask the questions, hopefully, that some of you would like to ask, whether, I'm playing devil's advocate or it's something I really want to ask. I can ask those questions. That's what I feel like my role in all of this is. I feel like to be the audience surrogate, I want to be the audience surrogate to the learning.
Yep.
And what can I ask that everyone would like to ask right now? Whether it's what I think or not. And if I have my own curious little thoughts, hopefully I'll just poke in one or two. But I don't want to derail anything. I really want this to be your show. I'm there to add flavor. I'm there to add personality. Hopefully a little bit of my wisdom too, from going through some shit that I've been through.
Barry White.
Ladies. But I think that pretty well breaks it down for episode 0. Do you have anything else you want to add? 0.
0.
Not 0.
Double. And welcome to this crazy ride. It's gonna be awesome.
Welcome to the ride, and we hope you stick around, and we'll see you in episode 1.
It's coming.